Hi, my name is Sean of Millinery and welcome back to my channel. And in this week's video we are going to be making an ooky spooky Halloween veil. Now I know you're thinking, like, what is that horrible thing on his head? And I don't know if you can actually see it, maybe in colour correction because this room is quite dark. This is a fascinator, so this is a scary spider headband from the reject shop at $2.50, and I saw this and I was like, oh, that's my Halloween hat, mate. Like, video idea. Try to take something like this but make it fashion. So as I'm recording this in advance, I don't have the veil ready to see, but you've probably seen by the thumbnail. So if you want to see how I turn this into something fashion, let's get started. So I'm starting with a thicker tool, more of like a dance net in black. I mean, trying to find a soft tool in black is borderline impossible, and I've searched the whole of Sydney for it and just cannot find any. So what I ended up doing was buying 2 meters of this mesh, like dance mesh, from the fabric store in Sydney. And they have a lot of design and remnants as well. And if you keep watching these videos in future, you might see that I picked up a Marc Jacobs remnant, which I'll be using soon. As you can see here, what I'm doing is I'm turning over the edges twice on the selvage edge. And this is so my hem is kind of straight and kind of even, because I'm not very good at keeping things straight or even. And I'm running it through a sewing machine on a regular straight stitch. I had initially sewn the ribbon banding 30 inches below that hem, but when I tried it on, it looked ridiculous. So ignore any measurements you'll see of like 30 inches or more on screen. So to work out what you need, put a tape measure on top of your head, curve it over the face to the neck, and that will give you a rough, it's not exact, but it'll give you a good estimation of where you should be sewing your ribbon banding. To put the ribbon band in, fold your fabric over where you want the bottom of the ribbon. So mine is 22 inches plus 2 inches for the ribbon, which makes 24 inches, and pin this together. Then you want to sew 2 inches away from the fold, or however wide your ribbon is. Mine was about 1.5 inches, and just over 1.5 inches. So I did 2 inches, so then it had room to move inside the fold. Remove your pins and lay the fabric straight, and you should have a bit that sticks up. You want to push this down away from the top hem and sew along the bottom of your channel. And now you've created a space for your ribbon to sit. Put the ribbon into the channel using a bobbin if you have one, and if you don't, like I don't, I fashioned one using some brim wire. Just make sure that you gather along the ribbon so it doesn't get lost. Now you could use a length of ribbon more than 2 meters so it doesn't fall out, but it will result like what will happen is you'll have a really big bow, or you'll have a really long trail on the edges of the bow. I tend to find, this is something I was thinking, how would I secure this? And what I've thought is I'm not going to secure it because A, you can pop a ribbon back in, and B, if you start pinning it, or if you start sewing the ribbon to hold it into place, it's not going to gather nicely around the neck, so I haven't sewn the ribbon in to the channel. Then, using a needle and thread, you want to gather the top hem, making sure you try to keep your gathers evenly distributed, and once you've all gathered it, sew it together. So your raw edges, you want to sew them together to make a circle, and then just tack it into place so all the gathers come together as one. I removed the veil from the fascinator headpiece that I got from the remnant store or dollar store, wherever you are, and I put it on a mannequin head, and then I placed the new veil onto the spider head and I pinned it into place. So then I adjusted the veil to make sure it sits nicely. So I tied the ribbon around the neck and just made sure everything was right and looked nice. Once I was happy with that, what I then did was sew the veil onto the head of the spider, just hiding my stitches in the top. And then finally, I just embroidered some black bats onto the front of the veil using some black embroidery thread. And what I'm doing here is making a knot coming through from the inside to the out, and then make the first wing back through from back through to the inside, through where the body is again, and made the next wing, and then back to the body. And what this will do is from some angles it'll give like a nice 3D look to your bat wings. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. I actually really enjoyed making this one. It's a little costumey, but I wanted to do something. I was really inspired by the Saw movie. I mean, I've only seen the first one, but I do know in future ones, some of them have got like face cages on. So I kind of wanted to go down this face cage like kind of route with. And like a veil of some description, so, and it looks a little Victorian with the ruffle at the bottom as well, and then just try to like put a few bats with the embroidery there as well. So I'm very pleased how this turned out, and yeah, I really like this one. So no answers to question of the week this week because I didn't have any in the comments, so I didn't see any, so I'm not putting them up. However, that was a bit high. However, I do have a question of the week for this week, and the question of the week, because it's Halloween, is I do know this question of the week. The question of the week this week is, are you a fan of horror movies, and if so, what is your favourite horror movie? Personally myself, I am not a fan of horror. I don't mind psychological, but I'm not a big fan of horror. I used to watch a lot of horror movies as a child, believe it or not. And I was brought up on Nightmare on Elm Street, Pet Sematary, Chucky. Yeah, those like 80s, 90s horror movies, which were a lot when you're sort of like young. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of at all. Thank you very much to my Patreon Reggie. Thank you for your continued support. Hopefully I can get this video done and up the day before I launch it on YouTube, so you can see it in advance. If you want to join my Patreon, all my Patreon tiers are linked in the description box below. I've got tiers starting from £1 per month, so check that out. If you got this far and you haven't already subscribed, make sure you do. Hit that notification bell and turn on all notifications to be notified when we put out videos. I put out videos in future. So that's it. Happy Halloween. I hope you have a good one if you celebrate Halloween. I know not everybody does. I know not everybody can this year. So let's hope Halloween 21 is a lot better. I'd like to actually wear some Halloween costumes. In fact, I think if I put a video, I might put a couple of pictures here of me in some Halloween outfits. Tend to be in drag for some strange reason. Who knows? Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.